Tal Marog Ker's researches. Harvests End, 3rd Era, 172. Chimere, Master Sorcerer, Summoner, and Daireni Retainer. Chimere Garagin was a retainer of the ambitious Daireni clan. The Daireni derived the bulk of their power from the traffickings with Daedra, a very profitable but risky path to success. Chimere was perhaps the cleverest and most ambitious of the Daireni summoners. He dared to scheme against Lord Dagon, and won. When his trick succeeded, Dagon was cast into oblivion. However, in the instant of his betrayal, Dagon struck out against the mortal who tricked him. Chimere's pact assured that he would live forever in his hometown among the happy voices of his friends and countrymen. Twisting the literal words of Chimere's pact, Dagon scooped up tiny Calcili Island, a small island off the coast of Northmoor, and hurled it into the void. All Chimere's friends and countrymen were instantly killed, though the sounds of their voices remained to torment Chimere's memory. Chimere was condemned to live forever, to grow progressively old and crippled with arthritis, and contemplate the tragic consequences of his defiance of fate and fortune in cheating a Daedra lord. Armor of the Savior's Hide. Created by the Daedra lord Malakath, this armor has the marvelous property of turning the blow of an oathbreaker. Chimere tricked Dagon into swearing an oath against the powers which he had no intention of keeping. The hide of the Savior turned Dagon's titanic fury long enough for Chimere to deliver his own attack. An incantation invoked upon Dagon's protonymic, i.e. incantory true name. Unfortunately, like many of Malakath's gift, the armor is a mixed blessing. It also makes its wearer exceptionally vulnerable to magical attacks, so one should only wear it for particular occasions. Dagon's protonymic. Chimere used Dagon's protonymic in an incantation to invoke a sorcery that would gradually drain all of Dagon's power into the void. Chimere miscalculated, however, not realizing that Dagon's resistance could slow the draining of his power, even if it could not stop it. As a result, Dagon had the time to curse Chimere with a literal fulfillment of the terms of his bargain with Chimere. Rather than let his power drain into the void, Dagon cast it all into his curse. As a result, Calcili Island was cast into the void, all its citizens horribly slain, and Chimere was condemned to live forever among the ruins of his greatest ambition. Rituals of the Hunt. The Chapel of the Innocent Quarry. Chimere believes that Dagon had Calcili Island established as a site of the Chapel of the Innocent Quarry to personally mock and torment Chimere. The green crystal structure was created by enchantments and is the only building on the island erected since it was ripped from Tamriel and loosed into the void. The Spear. Supposedly, the Spear of Bitter Mercy used in the Wild Hunts could not be handled by any mortal or immortal save the ones sanctified to the hunt and bound by its strictures. However, Chimere has determined that though the Spear's power is great, it is not unlimited, and that certain enchanted armor items, for instance the armor of the Savior's Hide, forged by Malakath, are sufficient to protect a mortal or immortal bearer from its maleficent energies.